This boat is in lovely condition. She's lovely just the way she is. Well, look at the finish on it. Look at the varnish.
Beautiful.
It's just boat's really not 50 years old. Now, this is lovely. This has been kind of one of the sweeter boats we've seen so far. Hi there, this is Captain Q. Join us as we travel hither and yon to show you some great deals on some really interesting boats and maybe learn just a little bit with each one. Hey Randy.
Hey there.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing just great as always. Today I brought you here because while driving down the highway about 2 weeks ago, I couldn't believe it. There in this quiet little boat yard was this apparition. Wait for me. This beautiful thing sitting there kind of all by itself.
How hard did you stomp on those brakes?
I did a U-turn. Zoom right around. I had to come back and take a look at this. Well, let me put my hat on, and now I want you to do me a favor and just turn around. Oh, whoa, what is that? That is a 1969 Bristol 39 yawl. That means it comes with two masts, one tall one in the front and one short one in the back. She has this beautiful green paint on her. Actually, I think that might even be original gel coat. You can see the reflection over here in the bow. See how sharp the paint is. There's nothing you need to do this right away, except maybe a coat of wax would make it a little happier. This is a classic end of the era CCA design. They had long overhangs and they had short water lines, which accommodated the rule back then. And the designers would give them these long counter and the long overhang at the bow because they wanted to pick up extra speed and stay within the design parameters of the Cruising Club of America. This is the water line of the boat, roughly right here. Boat speed can be determined by taking the length of that, take the square root of the length of the water line, and multiply it times 1.2, 1.3, somewhere in there, and it will give you the theoretical speed that the boat will make without overpowering it in any way. Now that's limited. This has only got about a 29-foot water line length. So it's like probably 6-7 knots hull speed. But these boats will heel over. And back in this period, they were a little more narrow and a little more, people often call them tippy. That's not really, that's just a fact. They just would go over. And they were designed to sail over at about 15 to 20 degrees, as much as 25 degrees, and pick up the extra water line that would now be running along this part of the hull, all the way up to the bow. So instead of 29 feet, you might be looking at a 35-foot water line, so to speak, when the boat's heeled. So that's why they designed it that way. That was a trend. Everybody looked at that and said, whoa, that's what we got to build and design. So Ted Hood came up with this design with all that thinking going on at the time. Bill Tripp Sr. came up with the Bermuda 40.
If she's happiest at a 15-degree heel angle, how does she do in light wind?
Well, in light winds, what we did back in these days, you'd get everybody to go over and sit on the leeward side of the boat to make the boat tip over a little bit. And in effect, increase your waterline length from this up to here. It's a kind of a funny thing, but it actually works. This is a heavy boat. This is around 17,000 pounds. Lighter boat will accelerate, but then as soon as that wind stops, she's going to stop too because there's no carry to it. There's no mast to carry through the water. So these can surprise people a lot of times when you go shooting by them in light air on a race. This boat is in lovely condition. Her bottom is very fair. This is not a 50-year-old bottom. This boot top, it almost looks like it was part of the original gel coat. The hull is in great shape. A little fading to it, and that might come back with a good buffing. And
well, this isn't so bad. I'll be able to buff this out, no problem.
It's a buff right out. There's a centerboard, and this is the area probably for the pin. You can feel the board right under here. And again, she draws about 4 feet, about 9 feet with the board down. Oh, the little rig on the bow here. I thought what we had here was an extension for a headstay so that the boat might be rigged as a cutter, moving the headstay further forward and setting up a staysail shroud between the headstay and the mast. But upon further examination here, we find out it's really just a super duper anchor platform. It's got twin rollers out here, so if you need to set 2 hooks, You can do that easily. It's rugged as can be, and it's all in great shape. Oh, the mast on this boat. This mast is stepped inside the hull. It's not stepped on the deck. There's very little wear here, a bent angle piece. This is a step. Picture the mast standing up, and this would be horizontal to the water. About every 2 feet or so on alternating sides. This is called a mast step. This boat has just been kept up to date all the time. Say we go topsides and check out the deck from there.
Sounds great to me. Yeah, let's do it.
This is a really nice cockpit. This classic lines of the boat, aft cockpit, ideally a couple with some occasional guests would love this boat. She's lovely just the way she is. I'm sitting down and notice the height of this coaming right here. It catches me above my lower back. So sailing, I'm going to be very comfortable. Motoring along, I'll be very comfortable sitting here. Another nice thing about this is the cockpit is very long, which gives you a place to sleep. Just some odd things offhand. He's got a couple of propane tanks sitting out here. Normally these would go in some locker. I don't quite understand why he did this. It's sort of a little out of character with the rest of the boat. Because of the design of these boats, as opposed to today, you have these big lockers on either side of the cockpit. And there's one on each side. I'm sitting on this one. Look at that. What's nice here is this little compartment here to stow our handles. Now, this is lovely. Well, look at the finish on this. Look at the varnish.
Beautiful.
It's just boats really now 50 years old. Glass fitting, you won't find that in a lot of boats. This has been specially done at no small cost. Piece of wood on the stainless brackets right above the hatch. Boom gallows. It sounds like someplace you'd hang yourself.
Yeah, your neck goes right there.
And well, this is the only mercy the crew gets. This is really nice. The berths, these are all good size. The pilot berth up here with a little, this is a little piece here to keep you in there when the boat's heeling over. I'm going to use the Captain Q measuring stick. Ooh. Oh. Now, I would be very happy sleeping right here. Look at this. This is so neat. I love this. Look, and first of all, notice how this just comes right out. There's no tugging or pulling or jerking. There's a whole chart book. That just fits on one half of this. You could put 2 of those in there. Plus you could put full-size NOAA charts in here, the whole coastline of the United States. This boat has been so nicely maintained. This is a permanent single over here. This is really big. I won't kick all these pillows out, but I think you can see just how I'm sitting here, how much room there is. We're not going around the world necessarily with this boat, though you could. Now this is a feature I really like. This is the battery compartment, and I like that because you have instant access to your batteries. They're safe, they're going to be dry, and
oh, it's sparkling.
It looks like it has never been turned on. Westerbeek 33 diesel. It's just really neat and tidy. Everything is right here for you. All the valves, the Raycor fuel filter on this side of the cabin area. On the port side here, we have a big, pretty deep sink. Here we have a classic shipmate 3-burner stove and oven. Here's access to your pressure water pump. I pulled that up with just one finger. It may not mean anything right now to you, but this is beautiful. The bilge, it doesn't look like it's ever had any water in it of any sort.
I don't know if I've seen a bilge look that clean.
Usually
there's some like dark sludge.
Oh, you don't ever want to open these on most boats. This boat's very sweet. What some people have done is they have put a grate in the shower room in the head, and then they just shower and let the water run down into the bilge. The problem with that is you're letting a lot of hair and body grease and run down to the bilge, and it will start to stink after a while. So you need a sump for the shower, and they've installed this nice little section here, and it's just simply amazing.
Yeah.
And you don't appreciate that until you have to live with a bad bilge. It's just a lot of nice human room in this. It's pretty extraordinary. With my hat, I'm 6'2", so there's about 6'3" headroom, about 6'4" behind Randy, so there's lots of headroom. Is one head that really gives you a feeling you've got 2 heads on the boat. Coming to this head, right now, again with lots of headroom. Pun was
headroom?
Not intended, actually. Everything is crispy, clean, and new looking. It's like the boat was gone through completely every year. I'm going to leave you out in the main cabin. I'm closing this door. Anybody there? Hey, how are you, Randy? I've seen you before. Now look at this. We're in the forward stateroom on this boat. One thing you got to appreciate about these older designs here is they did try to fill up the entire boat with staterooms. You've got a main salon, and then you've got a really nice stateroom forward. The Captain Q measuring tape, and I put my head down very carefully. Be very careful of things like this. I'm now lying down. My feet are squared away down there. I'm all on my own berth cushion. It's probably bigger than a king-size bed up here, and I like it a lot. We have storage here. There's lots of drawer storage for gear, and down right down here off the floor on either side, there's a whole set of storage drawers there for shirts, clothes, dry, and everything. This is wonderful. I'm going to stay here, and you can finish the shoot, Randy. I'm very happy right here.
Yeah, I got this. I'll catch you later.
Okay. This has been kind of one of the sweeter boats we've seen so far.
Where would you take the boat?
Oh, if I had this boat, I'd take off and I'd cruise the coast of Maine and just have a wonderful time. And maybe shoot over to Nova Scotia. And if you haven't been to the south coast of Nova Scotia, you've missed a lot. Coming back from there, pick your weather and beach your way back to Maine and then head south. And Long Island Sound in the summer is lovely. Plenty of places to tuck in, go down to Mystic, go down to New York City, and then keep on going, just coastwise, but you could go offshore and go coastwise. I'm really glad you made it up here to Portsmouth. We had a special boat to look at today, one that was sort of a surprise. One of the best details of the boat is the head. The head, it's like there's one head, but it has two doors. Almost like having two heads for the price of one. But I would rate this boat very high. Again, she gets the automatic 10. Given the utility of the boat for two people plus maybe another set of friends to come on board, or a light racing crew one day, and I'm gonna take it up to definitely a 15. That gets a 15 in my book today. This boat has been lovingly cared for 20 years. This boat deserves to be back in the water next spring. Is that something? Woo! 40 feet of gorgeous, gorgeous coast. The boat has been around the Horn. Has also toured the canals of France.